Every year, about 10,000 crashes happen just because drivers are too tired. And that's just the one we know about. Since you cannot blow into a device to test for exhaustion, the real number is probably way higher. Now picture this. You run a fleet of drivers. They are on the road for long hours. You cannot be with them in the truck. You cannot tell if their eyes are getting heavy. But what if your technology could? Today, we are looking at telematics, what it is, how it works, and how it's already saving lives by spotting fatigue before it turns into an accident. Now, what is telematics? Actually, telematics is a fancy mashup of two words, telecommunications and informatics. In plain talk, it just means your vehicle is always chatting with the server, with your fleet manager, with an AI that's looking for patrons. The system usually has four parts. They all work together. Number one is GPS tracking. This GPS tracking shows where the vehicle is, how fast it's going, and if it's straight from the planned route. Number second is in-cab camera. This one points at the driver, not the road. It watches for tiny signals of tiredness, droppy eyes, head nodding, yawning, are those tiny movements when someone starts to doze off. Number third one is OBD-II port connection. It is actually a small plug right into the vehicle computer. It picks up heart braking, sudden speed up, and engine health. Number four, AI analysis. This is the brain of the operation. It takes all that raw information and turn it into helpful alert, a score, a warning, or a direct call to the driver or manager. These parts work together around the clock on every trip. And with this, we do not need anyone to sit in the passenger seat and regulate the fleet. Dear listeners, the question may arise in your mind is how telematic detects driver fatigue. So how exactly does telematic catch fatigue? Let's break down this concept. We break it into five steps. First, eye closure rate. Scientists measure this using something called per PERCLOS, the percentage of eye closure over time. If a driver eyes are closed more than 80% of any 1 minute window, that's a high fatigue state, and an alert fires immediately. Second one is micro sleep detection. A blink that lasts less than 500 milliseconds is considered a micro sleep. At highway speed, a 2-second micro sleep means your driver has covered about 160 feet, completely blind. The AI catches this pattern before they become critical. Third one is lane deviation. GPS and sensor flag when a driver repeatedly drifts across lane markers unintentionally. This is one of the most reliable behavior signal of fatigue. Number fourth one is steering wheel patterns. Fatigue does not just show in the eyes, it shows in how you hold and move the wheel. Okay. Over corrections, reduce micro adjustment, all characteristics of a fatigue driver and all detectable by algorithms. Fifth one is hard braking events. Fatigue shows reaction time. Slow reaction means late braking. Late braking means hard braking. And the OBD data capture this and flag cluster of events as a fatigue risk pattern. Now let us talk about data and numbers because this is where leadership pays attention. The average cost of a single commercial vehicle fatality. You know, it's 1.2 million. And that's not counting reputational damage, regulatory fine, increased insurance premiums, or the emotional tools. 71% of long-haul truck drivers report driving while drowsy. That's not a fatigue number, that's the majority. And here is the science that will shock everyone. Being awake for 17 hours straight produces the same cognitive impairment as having a blood alcohol concentration of 0.05%. After 24-hour awake, you are at 0.1%, legally drunk in most US states. We would never put a drunk driver behind the wheel, but we routinely put exhausted one there. For fleet manager, this reframes the problem. Fatigue is not about lazy or irresponsible drivers. It's a system failure. Unrealistic schedules, inadequate rest areas, cultural pressure to push through. Those are organizational problems. And telematic is one of the organizational solutions. And here I want to be honest with you because too many telematics vendors oversell their products. Let's talk about what telematic can and cannot do. It can detect fatigue signals in real time, the eye closure, the drift, the erratic steering. It can alert both the driver and the fleet manager simultaneously. It can trigger mandatory rest stop requirement through geofencing. It can generate compliance documentation for hour of service regulation. It can identify which drivers are chronically high risk so you can focus coaching resources. And it can reduce insurance premiums. Most carriers now offer significant discount for documented telematic use. But here is what it cannot do, and that's the most important part. It cannot replace sleep. No technology on earth can compensate for a driver who has not slept properly. It cannot fix a schedule culture that quietly pressures drivers to violate uh, high speed limits. It cannot work in isolation without driver training, without leadership buy-in, without a culture that actually lets driver pull over when the system says they are impaired. Telematic is a powerful tool, but a tool only works in the organization is ready to use it properly. Now, if you are ready to implement or upgrade your telematic program, here is a 5-step roadmap. Number one is assess your risk profile. Number two is choose the right system. Engage driver early. Number four is train manager to respond. That is the most important. And review data monthly. So the key takeaways from today's session will be fatigue is a system problem, not a personal failing. Okay. Telematic is a system solution, one layer of a multi-layer approach. Number two, the signals are real and measurable. Eye closure rate, microsleep patterns, lane deviation, heartbreaking clusters. Science has given us tool. Technology has given us deployment. Number three, technology does not replace sleep. Fix the scheduling culture um, and abide and make those as per the safety law. Number fourth one is driver engagement makes or breaks your program. If driver feels like they are being watched rather than protected, you will face resistance that undermine everything. So make sure they are engaged. Okay. Number fifth is monthly data reviews are non-negotiable. Telematics without analysis is noise. Analysis turns it into signal and signals into action. Sixth one is the return on investment is documented and real. Fewer crashes, lower worker compensation cost, reduced insurance premiums, stronger regulation compliance. If your organization is not yet leveraging telematics for fatigue management, the question is not whether you can afford to start, it's whether you can afford to it. Goodbye.